Have you ever found yourself in a situation where silence spoke louder than words? Imagine standing in a crowded room, the air thick with tension, and instead of joining the fray of voices, you choose to remain silent. It's a powerful choice. Your silence can create an energy shift that disrupts the chaos around you, leaving others scrambling to make sense of their own words and actions. As a chosen one, you possess an extraordinary ability, the power of restraint. When you refuse to react to provocation, you don't just maintain your composure, you challenge those around you. People thrive on reactions. They expect a response, whether it's anger, frustration, or even laughter. But when you withhold that expected reaction, you transform the dynamic entirely. Think about it. How often do we feel compelled to respond to negativity? A colleague hurls an insult, a friend makes a cutting remark. Our instinct is to defend ourselves, to jump into the battle of words. Yet, what if I told you that the most effective response is often silence? In that moment of quiet, you hold the power. You become a mirror, reflecting their insecurities back at them, forcing them to confront their own behavior. Before we dive deeper into this transformative power of silence, I want to invite you to take a moment to engage with this video. If this message resonates with you, please hit that like button and subscribe. Every like helps spread this wisdom further, and together, we can create a community that embraces strength through silence. And if you truly connect with this idea, drop a 777 in the comments below. This simple act not only shows your commitment to embracing your strength but also helps others find this powerful message. Let's ignite a conversation about the profound impact of silence, because when we share our insights, we empower one another. Now, let's explore why your silence is more powerful than any argument you could ever make. Silence is not merely the absence of noise, it is a deliberate choice that speaks volumes. It's a profound statement that says, I am in control. When you choose to remain silent, you reveal the chaos in others, making them question their own motives. This is not a sign of weakness, it's a strategic maneuver that places you in a position of strength. Remember that time when someone tried to provoke you, expecting you to lash out? Instead, you held your tongue. In that silence, you transformed the situation. Their words, once filled with venom, echoed back at them, exposing their true selves. Your calmness became a powerful shield, protecting your inner peace while leaving them vulnerable. So, as we delve into the incredible benefits of mastering the art of silence, keep in mind the power you hold. You are not defined by the noise around you. Instead, you define your own narrative through the strength of your silence. Are you ready to explore this journey together? Let's uncover the layers of this powerful tool, and remember to engage with this video by liking, subscribing, and commenting 777 below. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where someone tried to provoke you, expecting an immediate response? Perhaps it was a heated argument, a sarcastic jab, or even a subtle insult. In those moments, the air is thick with tension, and the expectation of conflict looms large. But what if, instead of reacting, you chose to remain silent? This decision can carry more weight than you might realize. Silence is often perceived as weakness or passivity. However, in reality, it is a profound source of strength and unexpected power that can shift dynamics and alter perceptions. When you refuse to engage in the chaos around you, you create a space that forces others to confront their own actions and insecurities. Your silence becomes a mirror, reflecting back their desperation and flaws. Think about it. When you remain silent, you deny others the reaction they crave. They may hurl insults or attempt to provoke you, but without your response, their words lose their potency. Instead of drawing you into their drama, they find themselves standing alone, grappling with the emptiness of their attacks. It's a powerful realization that often leaves them feeling unsettled and exposed. This phenomenon can be observed in various contexts, whether in personal relationships, professional settings, or even public confrontations. For instance, consider the office environment where a colleague consistently undermines your contributions. They may expect you to retaliate with anger or frustration. However, when you choose to stay calm and composed, that silence shifts the power dynamic. Others notice the insecurity in the aggressor's behavior, and your quiet strength becomes apparent. Moreover, silence can disarm manipulators and narcissists who thrive on emotional reactions. They often attempt to provoke you to gain control over the situation. But when you refuse to play into their game, you take away their power. Your silence sends a clear message: you are not defined by their attempts to draw you into conflict. Instead, you rise above it, maintaining your inner peace and strength. This concept isn't merely theoretical, it's backed by psychological insights. Studies suggest that people often fear uncertainty more than confrontation. When faced with silence, they start to question themselves: why aren't they reacting? Did I say something wrong? This self-doubt can unravel their confidence and shift the focus away from you, placing it squarely on their own insecurities. The historical figure of Marcus Aurelius serves as an excellent example of the power of silence. As a Roman emperor, he faced numerous challenges and rivals. Instead of engaging in futile arguments, he often chose to remain silent, allowing his enemies to expose their own flaws. His quiet presence was more formidable than any vocal rebuttal could have been. Over time, his silence became a strategic tool that instilled fear in those who sought to challenge him. In the same vein, biblical wisdom also highlights the strength found in silence. Jesus, when faced with accusations and hostility, chose not to respond with anger. His silence spoke volumes, forcing his accusers to confront the weight of their own words. The lesson here is clear: sometimes, the most impactful response is to refrain from reacting, allowing the truth to emerge on its own. In embracing the unexpected power of silence, you're not just withholding words, you're making a conscious choice to control the narrative. Each moment of silence transforms into a powerful tool, enabling you to navigate conflicts with grace and strength. As you master this art, you'll find that your presence alone can command respect, leaving others to reflect on their motivations and actions. So, the next time you find yourself in a situation where chaos reigns, consider the strength of silence. It's not just about holding your tongue, it's about asserting your power in an unexpected way. Your silence isn't an absence of voice, it's a declaration of control, inviting others to reconsider their approach and actions. In a world filled with noise, your ability to remain composed can be the ultimate game changer. Let me take you back to ancient Rome, a time of political intrigue, shifting alliances, and power struggles. Among the towering figures of this era stood Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher, an emperor renowned not just for his leadership but for his remarkable ability to wield silence as a weapon against his adversaries. His reign was marked by challenges, yet he navigated the chaos with a calmness that bewildered his enemies. Imagine the tension of the Roman Senate, where rival factions sought to undermine each other. Aurelius, surrounded by plots and accusations, faced constant attempts to provoke him into heated debates. His rivals would hurl insults, attempting to draw him into the fray. But instead of engaging, he often chose silence. This decision wasn't just an avoidance of conflict, it was a strategic maneuver that demonstrated his strength and control. In one notable instance, a senator publicly accused him of incompetence, expecting a fiery rebuttal. Instead, Aurelius sat quietly, absorbing the words, allowing the weight of the accusation to linger in the air. The senator's bravado began to crumble under the pressure of Aurelius's silence. Without a response, the room filled with an uncomfortable tension, forcing all present to re-evaluate the validity of the attack. It became clear that the emperor's quietude was not a sign of weakness but a powerful statement that demanded respect. As his enemies continued to lash out, they only succeeded in revealing their own insecurities. The more they shouted, the more their desperation shone through. Aurelius's silence acted as a mirror, reflecting their flaws back at them and leaving them exposed. The longer he remained calm, the more his opponents faltered, struggling to regain their footing in a battle they could not win. This approach extended beyond the political arena. In his personal life, Aurelius faced betrayals and personal attacks from those closest to him. Instead of retaliating with anger or resentment, he embraced silence as a means of introspection. He understood that engaging in conflict would not serve his higher purpose. Instead, he used these moments to reflect on his own values and principles, choosing to respond with wisdom rather than emotion. His ability to maintain composure even in the face of adversity became legendary. For those who sought to challenge him, Aurelius became an enigma, an unstoppable force whose silence spoke louder than any argument could. This was a man who understood that true strength lies not in the loudness of one's voice, but in the power of one's presence. Even in moments of public scrutiny, he wielded silence like a skilled warrior. When faced with criticism, he would listen intently, allowing the words to wash over him without reacting. This practice not only disarmed his critics but also allowed him to gather his thoughts and respond with clarity when necessary. His measured approach became a lesson for many, teaching that there is strength in restraint. The legacy of Marcus Aurelius serves as a reminder that silence can be a formidable ally. In our own lives, we can draw inspiration from his story. When confronted by conflict or provocation, we have the choice to engage or to hold our ground. Embracing silence as a strategy can shift the power dynamics in any situation, allowing us to remain in control while others reveal their true selves. In a world that often equates noise with strength, Aurelius's story highlights the profound impact of quiet resilience. His journey teaches us that we do not need to respond to every provocation. Sometimes, our silence can speak volumes, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and those around us. By embodying the qualities of the silent warrior, we can navigate the challenges of our own lives with grace and strength. Just as Marcus Aurelius did, we can choose to wield silence as a powerful tool, transforming our interactions and asserting our presence in a world that often demands noise. Imagine stepping into a bustling office, where the atmosphere is thick with ambition and competition. Meetings are often battlegrounds, where colleagues vie for attention and recognition. In this high-stakes environment, one individual stands out not because they are the loudest, but because they possess the remarkable ability to wield silence as a powerful tool. Let's consider the story of Sarah, a dedicated employee in a corporate setting. She was known for her expertise and ability to deliver results, but she often found herself on the receiving end of subtle jabs from a particularly competitive colleague, Mark. Mark thrived on creating drama, using snide comments and passive-aggressive remarks to undermine Sarah in front of their peers. His goal was clear: to provoke a reaction, to draw her into the chaos he thrived on. During one particularly tense meeting, Mark launched a barrage of criticisms aimed at Sarah's recent project. Instead of retaliating or defending herself, Sarah chose to remain silent. She maintained a calm demeanor, looking around the room, allowing the tension to build. As Mark continued to speak, his voice grew louder, but the more he engaged, the more isolated he became. Sarah's silence spoke volumes, creating an invisible barrier that left Mark floundering. In that moment, something remarkable happened. The other colleagues in the room began to shift their attention. They observed Sarah's composed response and started to notice the insecurity in Mark's aggressive stance. His insults, once powerful, began to lose their impact as the silent strength of Sarah's presence took center stage. Instead of feeding into the drama, her silence transformed the narrative. People started to see Mark not as a confident challenger but as someone desperately trying to assert dominance in a way that felt increasingly hollow. After the meeting, whispers circulated about the confrontation. Sarah's ability to stay calm and unruffled became a topic of conversation. Colleagues began to admire her poise, recognizing that her silence had turned the situation on its head. Rather than being perceived as weak or submissive, Sarah emerged as a figure of strength, commanding respect simply by choosing not to engage in a battle that was not hers to fight. This real-life example highlights how silence can shift the power dynamics in any environment. Sarah's choice to withhold her reaction allowed her to regain control of the conversation, forcing Mark to confront the consequences of his actions. Instead of a back-and-forth exchange that could have escalated into a heated argument, Sarah's silence encouraged self-reflection among her colleagues, making them reconsider their own perceptions of conflict and aggression. The power of silence extends beyond office dynamics. It can be a strategic move in personal relationships as well. Consider a scenario where a friend or family member tries to provoke you into a disagreement. By choosing silence, you not only avoid unnecessary conflict but also create space for the other person to reflect on their behavior. Your calm presence can serve as a reminder that not every provocation deserves a response. In a world where everyone is vying for attention and validation, mastering the art of silence can be a game changer. It allows you to rise above the noise and assert your own authority without uttering a single word. By adopting this approach, you not only preserve your energy but also invite others to reconsider their actions and words. Sarah's story serves as a powerful reminder that silence is not a sign of weakness, but a strategic move that can redefine the dynamics of any situation. In our own lives, we can take inspiration from her experience, learning to embrace silence as a powerful ally in navigating conflicts and managing relationships. As we cultivate this skill, we may find that we can command respect and influence others simply by choosing when to speak and when to remain silent. In a world filled with noise and constant chatter, silence can seem like an anomaly. Yet, for those who have encountered manipulators and narcissists, silence becomes a powerful weapon, one that can effectively shift the balance of power. These individuals often thrive on creating chaos, seeking to provoke reactions that validate their sense of control and superiority. But what happens when you choose silence instead of engagement? Consider a scenario in which you find yourself in a conversation with someone who consistently pushes your buttons. Let's call him Alex. Alex has a knack for making cutting remarks designed to elicit a response. His manipulative tactics are subtle yet effective, often leaving you feeling frustrated and on edge. He knows the right buttons to press, and he revels in the emotional turmoil he creates. What he doesn't anticipate, however, is your decision to respond with silence. When you choose to remain silent in the face of Alex's provocations, you create a shift. Your silence acts as a buffer, disrupting the expected flow of the interaction. Rather than feeding into his manipulative games, you deny him the satisfaction of a reaction. This moment of quiet can be incredibly disarming, both for you and for him. Suddenly, the power dynamic has changed. Alex finds himself standing alone, grappling with the weight of his own words. This approach can be particularly effective for several reasons. First, manipulators thrive on emotional responses. They want to provoke you into anger, sadness, or frustration, feeding off the energy of your reaction. By choosing silence, you take away their ammunition. You deny them the validation they seek, leaving them with nothing but their empty provocations. As the silence stretches on, they may begin to question their own tactics, wondering why their usual methods aren't working. Moreover, silence forces manipulators to confront their own behavior. When faced with your calm demeanor, they may start to feel uncomfortable. The absence of your reaction creates a void that amplifies their insecurities. Instead of feeling powerful, they may begin to realize that their tactics are ineffective. This self-reflection can be a powerful catalyst for change, both for you and for them. In personal relationships, silence can serve as a boundary. When someone attempts to manipulate your emotions, your choice to remain silent sends a clear message: their behavior is unacceptable. It signals that you won't engage in their games, establishing your strength and autonomy. This boundary setting can be a transformative experience, empowering you to reclaim your emotional landscape. Consider the story of Lisa, who found herself entangled in a toxic friendship with a narcissistic individual named Jake. Jake often belittled her achievements and manipulated situations to center himself. Frustrated by his constant need for validation, Lisa decided to try a different approach. Instead of arguing or defending herself, she began to respond with silence whenever Jake made a cutting remark. At first, Jake was taken aback. His attempts to provoke Lisa met with an unexpected calmness that left him speechless. As the days turned into weeks, he became increasingly frustrated. His comments lost their sting without a reaction to fuel them. Lisa's silence created a space for her to regain her sense of self-worth, while Jake was forced to confront the futility of his manipulative tactics. Over time, Lisa noticed a shift in their interactions. Jake, no longer able to control the narrative through emotional provocation, began to change his approach. He started to engage with her more sincerely, realizing that his previous tactics were ineffective. The power of silence had turned the tables, allowing Lisa to redefine the boundaries of their friendship. Ultimately, choosing silence in the face of manipulation and narcissism is not about passivity, it's about empowerment. It's a conscious decision to reclaim your voice by deciding when to use it and when to withhold it. In a society that often equates noise with strength, your ability to remain silent can become a formidable asset. By embracing silence as a tool, you not only protect your emotional well-being but also invite others to reconsider their behavior. In a world filled with manipulation and chaos, your quiet strength can serve as a beacon of resilience, reminding you and others that true power resides not in loudness, but in the mindful choice to engage or not. Silence is often misunderstood. In a society that values communication and expression, the act of remaining silent can seem counterintuitive. Yet, psychologically, silence wields immense power. It can influence perceptions, alter dynamics, and even reshape relationships. Understanding the psychological mechanisms behind the effectiveness of silence reveals why it can be such a formidable tool in various situations. At its core, silence creates space. In conversations, especially those charged with emotion, the presence of silence invites reflection. When we pause, we give ourselves and others the opportunity to process what has been said. This pause can lead to a deeper understanding of feelings and motives, allowing for more thoughtful responses. In contrast, continuous chatter often leads to misunderstandings and emotional escalation. Silence allows clarity to emerge from the noise, facilitating genuine communication. In the realm of interpersonal dynamics, silence can serve as a powerful form of nonverbal communication. It conveys messages that words often cannot. For example, when someone is confronted with silence, it can evoke feelings of discomfort and self-doubt. They may begin to question their own words and actions, leading to introspection. This is particularly true in situations involving manipulators or narcissists, who thrive on emotional responses. When faced with silence, their tactics often unravel, forcing them to confront their insecurities. Moreover, silence can disrupt the expected flow of power in interpersonal interactions. In confrontations or debates, one party may anticipate a reaction, expecting to gain control through provocation. However, when silence is introduced, the dynamic shifts. The individual who remains silent asserts a form of control, demonstrating that they are not easily swayed or provoked. This unexpected shift can leave the other party feeling disarmed and vulnerable, as they grapple with an absence of reaction. From a psychological perspective, silence can also serve as a coping mechanism. In moments of conflict or emotional upheaval, choosing silence allows individuals to regain composure. It provides a moment to breathe, reflect, and gather thoughts before responding. This deliberate pause can prevent impulsive reactions driven by anger or frustration, leading to more constructive outcomes. By taking a step back, individuals can approach situations with clarity and intention. Another intriguing aspect of silence is its ability to evoke curiosity. When someone chooses not to respond, it can pique the interest of those around them. Questions arise: why aren't they reacting? What are they thinking? This curiosity can shift the focus away from the provocateur and onto the individual who remains silent. Their calmness can draw attention and respect, compelling others to reconsider their approach and behavior. Silence also plays a crucial role in emotional regulation. When faced with conflict, the immediate impulse may be to react, to defend oneself, or to retaliate. However, opting for silence provides an opportunity for emotional self-control. It allows individuals to step outside the emotional storm, gaining perspective on their feelings and the situation at hand. This regulation is vital for maintaining healthy relationships, as it fosters a sense of respect and understanding. In therapeutic contexts, silence is often used as a tool for healing. Therapists recognize that moments of silence can be powerful. They create space for clients to explore their thoughts and emotions without the pressure to fill the void with words. This process encourages deeper self-reflection and insight, allowing individuals to confront underlying issues that may have been overlooked in a more dialogue-driven approach. The effectiveness of silence is also rooted in its ability to foster authenticity. In a world that often prioritizes surface-level interactions, moments of silence can reveal deeper truths. When individuals choose to remain silent, they are often expressing a willingness to listen and to engage with the underlying emotional currents of a conversation. This authenticity resonates with others, creating a sense of trust and connection. Ultimately, the psychological power of silence lies in its multifaceted nature. It disrupts, invites reflection, and fosters emotional regulation. It shifts power dynamics and evokes curiosity, providing individuals with the opportunity to respond with intention rather than impulse. In a culture that often equates noise with strength, embracing silence as a strategic tool can lead to more meaningful interactions and deeper connections. Understanding the psychological dynamics at play can help us harness the power of silence, turning it into a formidable ally in our personal and professional lives. Throughout history, the concept of silence has been revered and analyzed in various cultural and spiritual contexts, none more so than in the rich narratives of the Bible. From the Old Testament to the New Testament, silence emerges as a powerful theme, demonstrating that even the strongest figures chose to remain silent in the face of adversity, injustice, or provocation. This biblical wisdom offers profound insights into the effectiveness of silence as a tool for strength, reflection, and ultimate resolution. One of the most striking examples of silence in the biblical narrative is found in the life of Jesus Christ. Throughout his ministry, Jesus faced numerous challenges, accusations, and confrontations, particularly from religious leaders who sought to undermine his authority. Despite the intensity of these moments, there were times when he chose silence over verbal engagement. For instance, during his trial, when falsely accused and ridiculed, Jesus remained largely silent, allowing his opponents to speak. This silence was not a sign of weakness, rather, it was a demonstration of his strength and conviction. By withholding a defense, he redirected the focus from himself to the truth of his message. This moment of quietude is pivotal. It illustrates that sometimes the most powerful response is to withhold words, allowing the weight of the situation to carry its own significance. Jesus' silence invited those around him to reflect on the nature of truth and justice, compelling them to confront their own motivations and actions. In doing so, he reframed the trial, shifting the emphasis from accusations to the profound implications of his teachings. Similarly, the Old Testament presents several instances where silence played a crucial role. Consider the story of Job, a man known for his righteousness who faced immense suffering and loss. Throughout his trials, Job struggled with the desire to question God and seek answers for his suffering. His friends, attempting to offer comfort, filled the air with words of judgment and assumptions. However, in the midst of his pain, Job often found himself in a state of silence, grappling with the depths of his sorrow and confusion. This silence allowed him to engage in profound self-reflection, ultimately leading to a deeper understanding of his place in the divine order. Job's silence highlights a vital aspect of human experience, the importance of stillness in the face of turmoil. Sometimes, it is in the quiet moments that we find clarity and strength. Rather than rushing to respond or react, Job's moments of silence became a sanctuary for his thoughts and emotions, enabling him to confront the complexities of his faith and existence. Another poignant example can be found in the book of Proverbs, which offers wisdom on the power of silence. Proverbs 17:28 states, "Even a fool who keeps silent is considered wise, when he closes his lips, he is deemed intelligent." This verse encapsulates the idea that silence can often speak louder than words. In a world filled with noise and clamor, choosing silence can convey wisdom and discernment. It suggests that the ability to listen and reflect before responding is a mark of true strength. Moreover, silence is woven into the fabric of prayer and meditation in biblical teachings. The Psalms frequently emphasize the significance of being still before God. Psalm 46:10 invites believers to be still and know that I am God. This call to stillness is an acknowledgement that in moments of silence, we can connect more deeply with the divine, allowing for introspection and spiritual growth. It emphasizes that silence is not merely an absence of sound but a space for divine encounter and revelation. In modern life, the wisdom found in these biblical narratives remains relevant. The ability to embrace silence in our interactions can transform relationships and foster deeper understanding. Just as Jesus used silence to redirect attention to the truth, we can harness the power of silence to create space for reflection and growth in our own lives. It can serve as a reminder that sometimes, stepping back and allowing silence to fill the void can lead to more profound insights than any words could convey. In conclusion, The biblical wisdom surrounding silence teaches us that even the strongest figures recognized its power. Through moments of silence, they were able to confront adversity, engage in self-reflection, and ultimately embody a deeper understanding of truth and justice. Embracing silence in our own lives can be a transformative practice, enabling us to navigate challenges with grace and clarity while fostering meaningful connections with others and with the divine. In a fast-paced world where words flow freely and noise often dominates, the concept of silence is frequently misunderstood. Many people equate silence with weakness, viewing it as a lack of response or engagement. However, the reality is that silence can be one of the most potent forms of strength. It is a deliberate choice that reflects inner confidence, emotional intelligence, and the ability to navigate complex social dynamics. Understanding this lesson can transform how we interact with others and how we perceive ourselves. Silence often serves as a protective shield in various situations. When faced with aggression or provocation, the instinctual reaction may be to respond immediately, often leading to escalation and conflict. Choosing silence in such moments can be a powerful form of self-control. It allows you to step back, assess the situation, and decide how to engage thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. This calculated approach not only protects your emotional well-being but also demonstrates a profound strength of character. Consider the times when you have felt pressured to speak up, to defend your position, or to engage in a heated debate. In those instances, taking a moment of silence can be transformative. It provides the necessary space to collect your thoughts and emotions. This pause can often lead to a more measured and effective response, allowing you to articulate your views with clarity and purpose. Silence, then, becomes a strategic tool that empowers you to assert your perspective without falling into the trap of emotional turmoil. Moreover, silence can diffuse tension in interpersonal relationships. When conflicts arise, the urge to fill the air with words can lead to misunderstandings and further complications. By opting for silence, you can create a calm environment that invites reflection rather than escalation. This approach encourages others to reconsider their actions and words, often leading to more constructive dialogue. In many cases, those who are accustomed to provoking reactions are disarmed by your choice to remain silent, forcing them to confront the implications of their behavior. In the realm of communication, silence can also serve as a powerful tool for emphasis. Well-timed pauses can heighten the impact of your words, allowing key points to resonate more deeply with your audience. Whether in public speaking, negotiations, or personal conversations, strategically placed moments of silence can draw attention to your message and foster a sense of anticipation. This ability to command attention through silence demonstrates not only confidence but also a keen understanding of the dynamics of communication. Historically, many influential figures have recognized the strength inherent in silence. Leaders, philosophers, and spiritual guides have often emphasized the importance of stillness and introspection. For instance, Mahatma Gandhi famously said, "In a gentle way, you can shake the world." His approach to activism was rooted in nonviolence and silence, illustrating that strength does not always manifest as loudness or aggression. Instead, it can emerge from a place of quiet conviction and commitment to one's beliefs. Silence also plays a critical role in self-awareness and personal growth. It provides the opportunity for introspection, allowing individuals to explore their thoughts and emotions without external distractions. This process of self-reflection can lead to greater clarity about one's values, goals, and relationships. By embracing silence, you cultivate a deeper understanding of yourself, which ultimately enhances your ability to engage with others authentically and meaningfully. Furthermore, Silence fosters deeper connections. In moments of quiet, individuals are often more willing to share their vulnerabilities, fears, and aspirations. When you create a space for silence in conversations, you invite others to open up in ways they might not when the atmosphere is filled with chatter. This shared vulnerability can strengthen relationships, fostering trust and empathy. By demonstrating that you value silence, you signal to others that their thoughts and feelings matter, creating an environment where authentic connections can flourish. The lesson that silence is strength, not weakness, also extends to the realm of conflict resolution. In heated disputes, choosing to step back and remain silent can pave the way for more productive outcomes. It encourages a shift from confrontation to collaboration, allowing all parties to reflect on their positions and find common ground. By reframing silence as a tool for resolution rather than avoidance, you can facilitate conversations that lead to understanding and healing. In conclusion, the understanding that silence is a form of strength can profoundly impact how we navigate our relationships and interactions. It empowers us to respond thoughtfully, diffuse tension, and create space for deeper connections. By embracing silence as a vital component of communication, we not only enhance our personal presence but also cultivate an environment where authenticity and understanding thrive. Ultimately, recognizing silence as strength transforms our approach to conflict, relationships, and self-awareness, allowing us to engage with the world around us in more meaningful ways. As we reflect on the profound power of silence and its strategic applications in our lives, it's essential to recognize that mastering this skill is not merely an individual journey but a collective endeavor. Silence, when wielded effectively, can transform how we engage with others, navigate conflicts, and foster deeper connections. Now is the time to embrace this transformative practice and invite those around us to do the same. Consider the interactions in your daily life, whether at work, in friendships, or within your family. How often do we rush to fill silences with words, often missing the opportunity for deeper understanding? By consciously choosing to embrace moments of silence, we can create a space for reflection and genuine dialogue. Imagine the impact of simply pausing before responding, allowing not only ourselves but also others the chance to think, process, and feel heard. This practice can lead to more meaningful exchanges, where every word holds weight and intention. God's chosen ones, lost without you. Engagement is key to this process. Challenge yourself and those around you to create environments where silence is not seen as awkward but as a powerful tool for connection. In team meetings, foster a culture that values listening and reflection. Encourage colleagues to take a moment of silence after a discussion before jumping to conclusions or decisions. This can lead to more thoughtful outcomes and a greater sense of collaboration. In personal relationships, make space for silence during conversations. Rather than feeling the need to fill every pause, allow your loved ones to express their feelings and thoughts fully. This can deepen intimacy and trust, creating a safe space for vulnerability. When we embrace silence, we signal that we value the voices of others, opening the door to richer, more authentic connections. Moreover, consider integrating practices like mindfulness or meditation into your daily routine. These practices cultivate an appreciation for stillness and silence, helping you develop a deeper understanding of your thoughts and emotions. By regularly engaging in silent reflection, you enhance your ability to navigate challenges with clarity and composure. As you embark on this journey toward mastering the art of powerful silence, remember that it is a lifelong process. It requires patience, self-awareness, and a willingness to step outside of your comfort zone. Celebrate small victories along the way. Each moment of chosen silence is a step toward greater emotional intelligence and deeper connection with others. Invite others to join you in this exploration. Share your experiences and insights about the impact of silence in your life. Engage in conversations about the value of listening and the strength found in stillness. By collectively embracing this practice, we can foster a culture that prioritizes meaningful communication and emotional well-being. In conclusion, the call to action is clear: embrace silence as a powerful ally in your interactions. Challenge the norms that equate noise with strength, and instead cultivate an environment where silence is valued as a space for reflection, connection, and growth. Together, we can transform our communication landscape, fostering relationships built on trust, understanding, and authentic engagement. Let us take this journey together, discovering the profound power of silence in our lives and the lives of those around us.